The Mystery of BELICENA VILLCA. Fourth Book. The Story of Kurt von Suberman. Chapter 16. Uncle Kurt, what you have told me is amazing. You alone, internally, that is to say, without any help, reached to one of the liberator gods. I exclaimed, impressed for the similitude of his experience with my perception of such infinite instant, the night of the earthquake, during which I contemplated the divine image of the Virgin of Agatha. And tell me, uncle, I added, ignoring the protest gestures of Uncle Kurt, who pretended to continue linearly with his narration, could you conserve the faculty to communicate with Captain Kiev? I mean, did you hear him later? Do you hear him now? Yes, Nif, he affirmed with resignation. Even though many years elapsed until I dared to speak directly to him, his voice guided me in every moment, saving my life a little time later, in Asia, as you will see, if you let me prosecute with the relation. But, I advance you an affirmative answer to your last question. I still hear him. He still guides me. He ordered me to come to Santa Maria, and stay here. And, even if I complied with his mandate, I did it begrudgingly, and all these years, these 33 years, I remained in open rebellion, against the superior unknowns. Yes, Nif. He spoke me many times, and he still speaks me, as he did before you came, when the hum of bees vibrated, the sound of the dorji of the druids, and he warned me that I would be attacked. But I have not responded to his messages. I have never done it, since 1945. For God's sake. Why, Uncle Kurt? How could you remain in silence, stay indifferent before the voice of the gods? I not comprehended his attitude, and I was saying him almost screaming. Chased by the druids, by the white fraternity, by an entire hierarchy of infernal beings. How could be despised the unique possible help, the succor of the liberator gods? Oh mein Gott, how difficult was for me, then, to understand Uncle Kurt. I know that you can't comprehend me, Echiro. But, is that you would have to put yourself in my position, be in my skin in 1945, seeing Germany destroyed by the synergy of the Allies, and checking that the wisest men, the initiates in the Black Order, disappeared without leaving traces in the Antarctic oasis, or through the expanded doors. And, while they were leaving, until the final battle, who knows until when, I received the order to stay in hell, alone, to comply mission from which I knew nothing at all, and in which I not believed. Yes, Nif, you can call it faithlessness, or as you want, but I not believe that my presence here was really important. I felt abandoned, betrayed by the gods, left to my luck. What could I do, before the great triumphant conspiracy? And however, I was wrong. Now, I know it, and I hope that it is not too late to correct my stupid posture. The letter of BELICENA VILLCA has shown me an unsuspected part of the history, a side that gives final sense to my life. Because, naturally, it only rests for me to die with honor, and wash the stain of all these years of ignoble quietude. Uncle Kurt was torturing himself needlessly, and, once again, I was the causative of his pain. I curse it for having asked, and I would have wanted the ground to swallow me right there. And there was no way to stop his subjective self-criticism. I am a SS, Echiro. A initiate in the Black Order SS. He said with desperation. I have remained in a comfortable situation, hidden all these years, but secure, comfortably secure. Accursed be me, and all the officers SS, who have acted in the same manner. We should have fought, forming young consciences, revealing the Hyperborean wisdom. But, we preferred to keep quiet, assume a coward attitude that pretended to be prudent. Imagine, Echiro, if neither to the gods I was capable to respond, how less will I would have to clarify anyone. And you know why? Because we didn't believe in the new generations, nor in the triumph of the Führer, nor in the final battle. Perhaps, and I just say perhaps, we will be forgiven in part because, in our conviction the hand of the enemy must have intervened, the power of illusion of the white fraternity. We were credulous and selfish, and we must not expect the forgiveness of the gods, because they are not judges. In reality, we're obeyed by ourselves, by our honor. Until today I lived assuming the role of victim, affirming with intransigence that nothing could be done against the Synarchy, except to wait for the final battle, the end of the world, the apocalypse, a divine intervention. And this, I said with irony, without believing that the parousia would occur, that I would reach to see it. And in my disdain, and in the indifference of many others who, perhaps acted just like me, we condemn to the ignorance to whom, with security shall participate in the essential war, in the final battle of the essential war. O gods, how fools we have been! I not understood it until now, until you came and exposed your predestined life, until you related me the years of quest, and showed me the impossibility to find the truth in some part. How many blind parts you might have saved if you would have known me before. To me, to Esker, or any of those who knew the truth. Oh, Echiro, what have we done? We saved our miserable lives, but at the cost to lose our honor, to abandon the young men to their own forces, to permit that they be corrupted and destroyed by the enemy. But Uncle Kurt, I said, trying to calm him, you received the order of Captain Kiev. You had to remain hidden for strategic motives, perhaps, waiting for the letter of BELICENA VILLCA. It is possible that others SS have acted egoistically, as you say, but I find very significant your story, mine, and BELICENA VILLCA. I see all too synchronized, too coincident, and I think that the gods had it calculated beforehand. Then, you mustn't embitter in vain. Thing will have their sense, if we comply with the request of BELICENA VILLCA, and find his son, and the wise sword, if we show her letter to Nimrod of Rosario, and we ingress in the order of wise constructors. Maybe you're right. But, I have verified my error, and nothing will prevent me to pay the debt of honor, that I owe to those, who came after me. The debt is with you, Echiro, I know. And for this reason, I am disposed to die if it is necessary. To die with honor, as an officer of the SS dies. Yes, Echiro, consider it as an oath. I'll protect you from the Druids. I will put to your disposition all the faculties and powers that I developed in the Black Order, and I will die for you if it is necessary, for you to comply with the mission that BELICENA VILLCA entrusted you. It was useless for me, trying to persuade Kurt that the situation was not so grave, that nobody was going to die. I just achieved to convince him about my naivety. Anyhow, one thing was clear. Incredibly, he possessed the faculty to communicate telepathically with Captain Kiev, one of the Lords of Venus that BELICENA VILLCA mentioned repeatedly on her letter.